Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope that you are doing absolutely excellent. It is Sam Goodman, the Hop Nerd, bringing you another Hop Nerd live stream. It's been a minute, huh? I'm back, and I got some bad news for some people out there. I'm not going anywhere. But I'm here, I'm hanging out, we're going to have fun, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. I've not done this in a while, and I'll dive into why in just a minute, but it's been a few minutes, right? I've been gone, I've been here, I've been everywhere, I've been kind of doing other stuff, so I'm probably a little bit rusty, so if things are come across as a little bit rusty, there's probably a really good reason. It's because I've not been doing this. I've been doing other things. And we're going to dive into some of those things. We'll talk about what's been going on in the world of Sam. We'll jump into some of my stuff. We'll jump into some of my opinions. We'll talk a little bit about the news. We'll talk about the state of the apocalypse, and we'll get the hell out of here. How about that? But first and foremost, let me jump in here and say that there is a trigger warning with the show, obviously, because apparently I do a lot of things that make some people not so happy. But if they don't like it, they don't have to tune in. But here we are. So there's the trigger warnings out of the way. If you're offended, I'm sorry. You can leave. But there we go. So for a few that get offended, it's there. So welcome back to the Hop Nerd Live. I've been gone. So let's start there. I'll start by saying that I've been gone. I have been busy as I sit here and enjoy my Caveman Coffee Nitro cold brew. This is I'm about 6 deep of these today. It's been a busy day. But I've been busy. So if you follow along with me on any of the kind of social media channels, you know that I wrote a book. So that's part of that. That's where some of it has been invested into writing this thing. So look at this. It's so cool, right? I mean, I can't explain how much of a nerd I am to see this and then see this name right here. That's kind of cool. I like it. I love it. I got to have more of it. I think it's kind of cool. So this is where I've spent the majority of the remainder, at least, of the apocalypse, right? The beginning half of this, I was your tour guide to the apocalypse, which was a lot of fun. The latter half of this, I have done this. I've written this. So this has been kind of fun. This has been my pet project for the last little bit. I apologize. I can see the folks watching, but I don't know if I'm getting your comments or not. That's always a struggle. That's why I'm trying to get in here to see if I'm getting anything coming through. If I miss it, if I don't see it, I'm sorry. You know the handy dandy text number. I've got it here somewhere. Here, look. Maybe not. Again, I'm rusty. I don't remember where everything's at. There you go. You could text me. That would probably be pretty easy. You could shoot me a text or something like that. We can talk. But again, give me a call, shoot me a text. That's kind of fun. We can have a conversation. I love that. I like that. I got to have more of that. But yeah, this is where I've been, and this is what I've been doing mostly for the past couple weeks, is getting this thing to people. That's been kind of the more fun part. I think more so than even writing this thing. For those of you that don't know, you can check this out. You can go to Safety Sucks. Look at this. Look at this cool. Look at this cool swag. For those of you tuning in on the podcast that can't see any of this stuff, this is going to be. My shirt matches the book cover, which is kind of cool. I may or may not have a couple of these hanging out laying around. Just saying, in case somebody's looking for a new T-shirt, I might just be able to hook them up if it's something that you're into. I like it. I think it's a conversation starter, right? I've gotten, I'm not polarizing in the least bit, am I? Not me. Me? Come on, jeez. But yeah, we've been doing that. We've kind of launched that. We've had that kind of going. Here I can show you what the majority of my day has been. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on over here. Let's see if we can make this happen. Again, I'm sorry. I'm rusty. I haven't live streamed in about 3 weeks now, 3 or 4, I think. Just life's been going on, and we're going to continue to talk about that. Let me find where's my camera at. There you go. Look at all that. You can see the little puppy. There's a puppy there, too. If you can find the puppy, that's kind of cool. But, again, for those of you that are tuning in on the podcast later, I'm basically showing a portion of our studio here. The couch, this Hop Nerd setting here was basically covered in and books and envelopes that I had to move over to the couch. At least some of them. I've got some more across the room on the other side there. But you're looking at, I don't know, what, 100 envelopes there that we're sending stuff out. So yeah, there you go. Look at all those handy dandy purple envelopes you guys will be seeing coming soon. So for those of you that ordered the book, thank you. Let me start by saying that. I should have said that right at the beginning. Thank you, every one of you that you see kind of sitting there on the couch. Thank you for ordering those. They're scheduled to be picked up soon. I know most of you ordered when it was still pre-order, so you've been waiting for a minute. So I'm excited to get those in the mail. You should have got an email at some point, maybe today, that said that the tracking number was established and all that stuff. All the shipping said they're ready. So I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm excited to get them to you. That's the most exciting part for me, is for you to get your hands on these books. I'm so excited, because I think you're going to nerd out just as much as I did. I've released a couple, the manuscript to a couple folks, and then I've had a couple folks listening, or reading the ebook version that got released a little earlier, and they've all kind of sent me some really cool stuff, going, "Oh my God, this! Oh my God, that!" And, I'm reading this, and I'm kind of, I'm going, "Yeah, this sounds like my life," and I like it. That was kind of the point. So for those of you that don't know, I wrote a safety book that's not about how to do safety. Let me put it that way. It's not about how to do safety. It's about our profession, and it's about how we need to make our profession better for safety practitioners. And that's where I'm starting to invest and focus a lot of my time on, is how do we make the world a better place to work, period. But how do we make the world a better place for safety practitioners in general? And speaking of which, you can head over to hopuniversity.org. That's hopuniversity.org, and you can check that out. We've constantly looking on better stuff to add there, giving away all kinds of amazing content there as well. We've been hosting some amazing webinars. We just had a Hop Power Hour not too long ago with an amazing group of folks from down in Brisbane, from Bris Vegas, that amazing group of hop people and safety practitioners and all of that stuff, taking live questions and providing answers during that webinar. It's up on our site. All those webinars are always free. You just click on webinar. You can look at the bottom. You can see the past one. That was our first one, and I thought it went kind of well. I thought it went marvelously. Let me put it that way. And then what we're going to see coming up is we've got another one planned, and I'm working on a couple more. We're trying to keep the content interesting and trying to keep that content focused on the safety practitioner. And again, that's where I'm starting to invest a lot more of my time, is into helping safety practitioners. So again, you can check that website out. I help coach safety people, so you can go check that out. You can take a look. All kinds of cool stuff that we've got going on there. And of course, the Hop Nerd website. I didn't plug anything right at the beginning. I just jumped right in and kind of forgot that that's kind of what I do. But again, that's www.thehopnerd.com, hopuniversity.org. You can go to safetysucks.net if you want to check out the book. The book is also available on all of our websites for purchase. It's also available for purchase on Amazon, which is kind of cool. So all Amazon marketplaces, if you just search Safety Sucks book on Amazon, you'll find it. We spread it across the marketplaces, so our friends and family all over the place can jump in and get that. So take a look. We always appreciate it. It's awesome. It's awesome to get to bring this to you. This is some stuff that I had on my mind for quite a while. It's been brewing for quite a while, and it's a quick and easy read. It's not something massive. So if you're the kind of reader that I am, that really likes more storytelling, you like to be able to kind of take little chunks. You can pick really any chapter in this and just read it. You don't really have to read it from front to back. It makes sense too sometimes, but it's nice. I like it. I love it. I hope you like it. I hope you love it. I hope you have to have more of it. And I think that you will. I think that you will really enjoy it. So that's been going on in my life. Number one, writing the book. Number two, shipping the book. That's what we've had going on over there. Many folks don't realize that we took on some of that ourselves, right? We're shipping directly out of, so we kind of have our own stores, and that's another thing we worked on. So we've been really focusing on building out our stuff, right? I think that's probably where we've been doing more than anything else right now. The book, the services, all that kind of stuff, there's obviously a lot of stuff that goes behind that. But then just building out our services. So we're offering you all kinds of stuff from our stores, just neat stuff. Again, I shared the other day, and I've shared this on a couple podcasts that I've been on kind of recently, that I'm just trying to give the community, mostly safety professionals, that's most of the folks that tune in to the podcast and to this stuff, trying to give safety professionals the stuff that I want as a safety professional. Right? That's the intent behind Hop University. right? Most safety professionals don't want some guru. They don't want something. They just want access to good stuff, right? Most safety professionals want access to a coach, and there's not many coaches out there that just coach safety professionals. There's one right here, and I'm trying to share the story and the struggle and the suck, right? The suck of the profession, stuff that I want, right? So I'm trying to build stuff that I want as a safety professional because I feel that there's a need for that out there. So that's the same thing that we did with our store. The stuff that's in the store, products and stuff that honestly I like. It's things that I like, put out there into the universe, and hopefully you like it too. So those are the things that have been going on. The book, so we did that. We're shipping the book right now. We set up the Hop Nerd and Hop University store. We're continuing to build out Hop University and bring you better services there. Again, there's a lot of we're doing the on-demand kind of video training stuff, which is kind of cool. We're doing the free webinars, and then like I said, my big thing that I'm really starting to invest my time in right now, and several of you, thank you for hanging out and letting me help you, is safety professional coaching for the safety professional. So it's kind of cool. We've been really, really honed in on that. So if you haven't checked out Hop University, go check it out. Hopefully it can bring you some value. That's the whole point, is we're trying to bring value, especially to our safety practitioners. And that's the entire point behind that too, is that we're trying to bring value to our safety professionals, to our safety practitioners, and we're trying to make the world a better place to work for safety people too. So as I get random emails and try to knock over my beautiful, look at that. How nice is that? I love Caveman Coffee, don't you? I mean, it's just great. We're coffee nerds here, obviously. I mean, that's a big thing for me, as I'm a coffee nerd. I've got to have coffee. I got to have coffee all the time. It can't be healthy, the amount of coffee that I drink. But again, back to, I just keep kind of rehashing stuff that I talk about all the time everywhere else. But I drink a lot of coffee because I do a lot of stuff. I've kind of got that. I've got that question kind of lobbed at me a couple times of what's going on? How do you got this going on or that going on? And how do you do all that? Well, because I don't sleep, number one. That was something that was taught to me very early on and instilled into me by my parents, is that the way that you get ahead in life is you work hard. And no matter how much people try to get snaky and try to do snaky things, yeah, there you go. Hard work will overcome a lot of that at the end of the day. So we'll see how certain things happen, but I got a feeling that hard work is going to continue to pay off as it has here at the Hop Nerd and here at Hop University. So when people ask me how these things happen, I work about 18 hours a day. Right? I work a complete day job in which I spend 100% of my time dedicated to a day job. Other than a quick lunch break, like right now, to bring you this, but the rest of my afternoon I spend up in the wee hours of the morning working on stuff and coaching folks and writing books and hanging out and doing that stuff and squeezing in a little bit of time for the family. One thing that's allowed me to be that productive, I think, right now is the gyms have remained to be closed, and I've put on all this wonderful quarantine weight, as you can tell. but the gym's open here at the end of the week. I think tomorrow or Monday, I believe the gym's open. I believe on Monday in Arizona. So I'm not sure how they're going to handle the social distancing. I got to call and see. I know some of them are kind of doing like the kind of club thing outside where you got like the velvet rope, and they only let certain people in, a certain amount of people at a time. So we'll see. I'm going to call and see how that's working, but I'm excited to do that. So you'll probably see me get vastly less productive. So for the haters out there, you'll enjoy that. I'm going back to the gym for a while. I'm going to do that so you won't see as much time invested here. But so that's cool. So with that being said, I'm trying to recap in my head. We've done the book. We talked about the store. We talked about the coaching that's going on at Hop University. We talked about the classes that's going on at Hop University. Oh yeah, I'm a podcaster too. Who I thought I forgot that all the time. I forget that all the time. So I'm still podcasting. We actually hit over let me put it this way. We hit our official 50th episode not too long ago. And who better to have on number 50 than Steve Harvey and Tony McConaughey? So they are on there. Big shout out to those guys. They were number 50. We've got some really cool guests coming up. Tomorrow we've got Mark Alston, an amazing episode from Investigations Differently. If you have not checked out Mark, go check out Investigations Differently. It is exactly what it sounds like. He is a rock star in my book. He teaches organizations how to do that. It's just exactly that, investigations differently and much better, right? They teach them how to do them a lot better. That's the good part. We've got that coming up. I've got a two-parter with Jason Lucas coming up. The hashtag Soul Doctor, as I like to call him, the hashtag a really fun guy. We picked that up in Las Vegas. Love that guy, man. That's such a good episode. Any of my hashtag safety fam and friends from the Safety Justice League, those are my favorite. Just having those folks on, oh man, it just makes me warm and fuzzy. It just makes me warm and fuzzy, right? I just love talking to people that just care about making things better, right? That's where I'm at. I continue to have this conversation kind of more recently that, like, you know, screw the labels. Screw the labels. I'm sorry. Fuck the labels. Let me put it that way. Let's say that. Hop safety differently, blah, 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 yada, 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 whatever you want to call it. How about we just say better? Let's do safety better, right? Let's do it better. And that's really what we're trying to do. And that's why I particularly love those groups of folks. I shared a post from Jason Maldonado last night, and I said, I love this because people like Jason make safety not suck. And that's exactly it. Right, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We're making stuff not suck, and I think that's a good goal. Right, let's just make it not suck, and then let's make it better. I think those are really, really, really powerful goals. Trying to make the world a better place to work. We do that, we make people's lives better, which is kind of cool, right? At least in my book, that's what it's all about. I think we'll see in the coming evolution of this kind of thing of doing safety better. That I think we're really going to see the folks that start to kind of pull away from the pack and start to show that, you know, hey, I'm interested in betterment. No, hey, no, I'm interested in money, right? We're going to see those folks that they're going to, people are, what I guess where I'm going with that is folks are going to show their true colors. And I love seeing groups of folks out there like the hashtag Safety Justice League that are just interested in making the world better. And I love it. I like it. I got to have more of it. They're absolutely a blast and phenomenal. So that was a long rant to say that I'm the biggest hashtag fanboy in the world for the Safety Justice League, and you should be too. You should be going and checking them out. They just had a great podcast with Jade Vincent, which was just awesome. Just awesome. I mean, where do you get content like that anywhere else? Again, people out there are making safety not suck. We're making safety not boring. We're making safety, dare I say, entertaining? What? Huh? Yeah, what? Oh my God, entertainment value? What the hell is that? And safety? Oh, goodness gracious. Whew, it makes some people mad. Getting away from the press slacks and the ugly polo shirts. Good God. Right? We're going to wear t-shirts and we're going to say safety sucks. Oh my God. We're all going to hell. As I chug my nitro cold brew, caveman coffee there. Gotta love it. Gotta like it. Gotta have more of it. But yeah, so I know there's a little bit of a side rant. But it's good. It's good to get that, I think, put that message out there that it's good to make things not suck, right? I think it's good to focus on making things better. I think it's good to get away from trying to label and to try to get away from some of this tribalism of, well, I'm in this crowd and I'm in that crowd and I like to use this word and I like to use that word and I like to call it this and you like to call it that and they're all extremely different. Well, sure, okay, I get that. But maybe let's just focus on trying to make the world better. It's a novel concept, huh? Just maybe trying to make lives better. It's rough. It's a rough business, I guess. It's a rough business trying to make things better. But it seems like a good end goal for me. So the book, the store, the shipping of the book, the website's continuing to grow. The book is continuing to kind of grow and take up a good amount of our time. The coaching continuing on and you know, having to enjoying those things there. The podcast, that's where I left off. I was kind of going back through trying to remember where I left off. But continuing to focus on the podcast, hitting episode 50. I'm doing a little bit of a 50th giveaway. If you go over to my LinkedIn, I'll share some stuff out so you can check that out. I don't remember exactly what the link was, but there's a way to sign up for it. We're just doing a little giveaway, just freebie stuff, just to you folks, because I love and care about you so much. I like you. I love you. I got to have more of you, right? I love you guys out there that continue to tune in and listen to all this stuff. It's absolutely phenomenal. Let me check and see what's going on here. I don't know what's happening. I got to double check and see. Okay. But yeah, thank you once again. That's really the message there at the end of all that big rant about how busy I've been. Is thank you for allowing me to be so busy. I mean, that's really what I'm saying. It's thank you for giving me the opportunity to do the things that I do. It's because each and every one of you, it blows my mind every time I go in and I tinker with stuff with the podcast in particular, and I see the amount of you that tune in and listen to every episode. I see the folks from all over the globe that are tuning in and listening to the messages on the podcast. It blows my mind when I reach out to these amazing people throughout the world that have just amazing messages to share. And they say, absolutely, right, I want to share this message. That's just amazing to me, this amazing community that we're building. Are we going to have shitheads within that community? Yeah, we are. We absolutely are. But the vast majority, I was just having this conversation with a near and dear friend of mine, a couple of them actually, a few people, we've had this exact same conversation. It's weird. But this amazing community that's growing, I think that's the really cool part. I think that we're starting to cut through, and it's scarier to some than others, but we're starting to cut through some of this safety elitist bullshit that's out there, this kind of guru safety elitist, I'm the great knower of things kind of crap. I think we're finally starting to cut through that. I think we're cutting down the walls around information, and I think that is good. I think that is amazing. I think that is awesome. So there's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff that's happening. I like it. I love it. I think it's super cool. And I thank you. This is a big, long thank you. I thank you for helping to make all of that possible. One thing I wanted to do, which is kind of cool. So I've been in quarantine, right? We've been kind of doing this whole, and let me back that up. Let me put that in let me insert some perspective there. Quarantine in Arizona is not the same thing as quarantine elsewhere. I get that. I understand that. We're not like locked down. Our restaurants are opening this week. Our gyms are opening by Monday. Our stores are opening back up. Arizona is going back to work. And we won't get into opinions on there, but let's just say it's timely. People need to eat. I don't want to see people wrestling and murdering each other in the street over a ham sandwich, because it's coming. Let's just say the economic pain is coming. But I've been here and there, and so a lot of my nerd habit has been invested, obviously, in everything else that's going on. I've been adding to the collection here of things. You see look at this. This is probably the coolest thing I've gotten in a while. Everything else is over there. I can't really get it to you, but this is a civilian. I'm sorry, podcast people, you won't get to see this. You have to go over and check it out on YouTube, I guess, or go follow along. But this is my civilian defense Geiger counter, circa like 1970s. I don't know what the year on it is. Maybe it's on here. How cool is that, right? How neat is that? And there's a whole cool thing I got with dosimetry and all kinds of other cool crap that came with it. So I had to share that with you. That's just one of the coolest things ever. We'll sit there. It works. Look at that. It works. We'll get to see how bad things are going in the desert. See what the government's up to here really quick. But it's cool, right? How cool is that? Back to me being a nerd for stuff. I got that. We got all kinds of other crap I added. I got some dummy rounds that we've added over here across the room as the dosimeters, and got some old helmets and some other crap that I just thought was cool. So that's part of what I've done in quarantine, is just collect things off the internet. Sounds about right, huh? Wrote a book, collect things off the internet, work on the websites. That's podcast. That's been about my life for the past couple months. Hey, Billy Allison. Hey, brother. Glad to see you're doing well through all this and what you've done for everyone. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. That means a ton to me, especially coming from you, man. I hope all is well in your direction, my friend. I really do. I can't wait to get back that way and get to visit some folks. Billy is one of my near and dear friends from Virginia. I can't wait to get back there and hopefully get to see some friends and family at some point. I think I know for a fact that Billy has a boat somewhere on the lake, so I might just have to find a way back there this summer and convince you into taking me out on the lake. That's what we might have to do. But yeah, so I hope everything's going well for everyone back that way too. All my East Coast friends, all my East Coast family. I hope everything's going well for you. Things out here have been going pretty good. Like I said, the lockdowns are kind of starting to expire. People are starting to go back to work. Most organizations are still keeping people working from home where that makes sense, at least through probably around July, which makes total sense in some situations. It makes sense, I guess. But all that's what's been going on with me. Again, you can always reach out to me. You know those numbers. I haven't shown them to you very much today. So I say you could text me, but you probably can't because the cell phone's over there. I'm using it as a webcam. This is my other one, and I don't give you this number. This is my leave me alone number. So you can call me 480-712-5219, or you can jump into the chat box. That's cool. I've got this cool chat app, but it never works. I don't know what the point of having it is. It never works. Actually, in the driveway right now, getting ready to head to South Holston. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I haven't got to spend time on that lake in a long time, and I love Soho. I love South Holston Lake. That's such an amazing lake. I'll just say that you get out this way into the desert, and the lakes it's just not the same, right? We've got some pretty decent lakes out here. We got Lake Havasu. Right, we got Lake Havasu here in Arizona, or at least part of it's in Arizona. We got Lake Powell, and I think part of it's in Arizona, right? It kind of splits Arizona, Utah, Arizona, California, based on which lake I'm talking about. We got some other lakes similar. We have what's called SRP, Salt River Project, which is similar to back that way. You have Tennessee Valley Authority. It's kind of the same thing, making water and hydropower. That's what they did way back when. So we've got some man-made lakes here, but most of them are kind of smaller, steeper, harder to access. So I miss the massive lakes such as South Holston. It's just pretty and nice, just relaxing. It's I don't know. It's just not the same. I'll just say that it's just not quite the same. But yeah, thanks for giving me the shout out, man. Thanks for hanging out. I look forward to like I said, maybe some point this summer. I got to get back that way at some point. I got to get to Virginia and see some friends, see some family at some point. So I'll give you a shout hopefully when we're back there. And I also follow along with you and see you on Facebook, man, cooking all that stuff up on that epic grill that you have. Holy cow, man! You're speaking my language now. You're talking lake and grill. How cool! But yeah, everything's been going good here. Like I said, the quarantine thing has been kind of not as crazy lately. People are going stir crazy. People are ready to get back to work. People are ready to go do some stuff. Phoenix is a little different than other larger metro areas. It's a little bit more similar to LA. We're not as kind of like stacked on top of each other as a lot of the East Coast stuff. So we've not really seen this insane kind of stuff going on. Yeah, that's what's been going on in my life though. So everything else, man, everything else has been going pretty good too. Like I said, just busy, wild and crazy and busy. With the book, with the websites, with all that stuff kind of happening. And with that said, let's jump over and see what's going on in the world so we can get this thing done. We can get this thing moving on. I'm sorry, every time I go in and I see these people wearing these masks, especially in chambers of government, I don't know. It's just hilarious to me. I don't know why. I just chuckle. I just find it funny. I know they're probably wearing them for good reasons. We're seeing more armed protesters, which is interesting. Seeing a lot of those folks kind of happening. You know how this works. If I see something I want to read, we'll read it. If I see something, anything else, we'll just keep chugging along right through this stuff because the computer never works. You know that, so that's never going to be a surprise to you. After days of no new coronavirus cases, New Zealand reopens most businesses. So there you go, New Zealand. They've done a pretty amazing thing there. I've not really dug into too much of that, but I've seen how successful they've been, which has been pretty interesting. Let's see what else is going on in the news. Browsing. What you need to know about the Flynn, Biden, and unmasking story. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I was watching Senator Rand Paul talk about some stuff with that earlier, and I don't know. Let's see. I think it'll be interesting to see who knew what when. Let's just put it that way. I think it'll be pretty interesting to see how things play out. 36.5 million have filed for unemployment in 8 weeks, so that's a pretty massive number, it seems, at least. Wisconsin Supreme Court overturns the state stay-at-home order, so that's happening. Pretty interesting, yeah. I think it's interesting to see. Millions of pigs will be euthanized as pandemic cripples meat packing plants. That's kind of a sad, interesting story as well to see that kind of happening there. fear of contracting coronavirus propels some smokers to quit. I'd overheard something that a lot of folks that smoke for some reason were having less complications with it. I do not take that as a news story. That's just something I'm stating again. To my folks that are easily offended and like to throw rocks, I'm not saying that, but go look that up. I read that or heard that somewhere. I might have actually heard that on Joe Rogan, which doesn't mean that it's true by any means, but something to go take a look at. I heard that and I was like, what, really? That's interesting. Yeah, I think there's a lot. There's not a lot too crazy thing that I'm saying. Why antibiotic resistance is more worrisome than ever? Yeah, well, duh. Yeah, so there you go. I'm not going to dive too much further into the news. I don't feel like talking about the news. I'm done talking about the news. I don't know about you. I'm not a big news person. I browse. You're the only reason why I browse usually. So there you go. Take a quick look at it. We'll jump over and take a look at see what's going on with everything else. Our fun part for the day, our famous birthdays. That's one that we like to look at. Mark Zuckerberg, 36. See if there's anyone else of interest that we will talk about before we get the heck out of here. Nothing. It's a pretty boring day. I'm going to say that. I'm going to flip over to this day in history, and it's probably not going to be. Jill Stein turns 70 today. Jill Stein, famous for her third-party runs. Browsing. Not seeing anything crazy. I'm sure I'm missing. I'm just quickly scrolling through. You know how we do things in here. We get in here, we ramble, we look at stuff, and we get the heck out of here. That's kind of sort of how we do this thing. On this day in history, May 14th, let's see what it says. Once we get past the horrible ads that everything has, including History.com. Lewis and Clark depart to explore the Northwest. That occurred on this day in history. So there's your little dose of history for the day. You know I'm a little bit of a history nerd when my computer allows me to actually look at it. Let's see if it'll let us kind of scrolling, trying to scroll. There we go. Now, on this day in 1948, the State of Israel is proclaimed. 1973, America's first space station, Skylab, is launched. In 1796, there's an early smallpox vaccine that's tested. The first American Olympiad opens in, oh man, I just lost my page. There we go, my crappy computer that bounces around. Opens in St. Louis, Missouri. There we go. In 1999, President Clinton apologizes to Chinese leaders for embassy bombing. On this day in 1998, Frank Sinatra dies. And that's at least, well, there's more. There we go. I'm going to throw the computer out the window. That's most of the conversation we have as we do these things. The good computer sits over there and does this stuff, and the crappy computer sits here and try to run everything, else. There's a two-train crash in Japan, killing more than 40 on this day in 1991. In 1955, the Warsaw Pact is formed on this day. In 1787, the Constitutional Convention delegates begin to assemble on this day. So pretty interesting day in history. There's kind of some neat stuff that's going on or happened, or went on, I guess is the better way to put it, out there. So that's pretty neat. So we've talked a little bit about the news. We talked a little bit about on this day in history. We've talked a little bit about famous birthdays. We did that a little bit too. So yeah, and we talked about what's going on in the world of Sam, in the world of the Hop Nerd, in the world of the Hop Nerd podcast, in the world of Hop University. We've talked a little bit about everything. I just got to say that I'm having a blast. That's the one thing I've really got to say. I feel right now that I am probably doing more. It's this interesting thing. The more that you do, the more that you realize that you can do, I guess is the way to put it. You realize that the more you take on, the more you realize you actually do have the capacity to do quite a bit. Right? I think a lot of people sell themselves short with the amount of capacity they think that they're not sure that they have, I guess. It seems like everything that we add to, I think I've about found it though. I've about found where it's kind of like, okay, we're right on the edge. And that's where I like it. some of this has been, with everything that's been going on and me trying to recreate my hectic, busy life that I enjoy. We've been really busy outside of the apocalypse happening. Obviously, we just really schedule things. We just have a busy schedule. We have a really hectic schedule. So it's interesting that we went from being very hectic to not being very hectic, and I actually touched on that some in the book, kind of the story of how the book came to be. We actually talked about that a little bit. So I keep saying we, so I refer to it we because this is a family thing. Let me let me say that I can't do this without the folks that you see kind of back here on this shelf. Those folks and Johnny Cash. That's kind of what keeps me going. You can't see it, but I've got a really nice framed John Prine. All right, awesome John Prine concert flyer from the UK that's framed over here on this wall. So pretty cool stuff there too. So I keep saying I'm going to give you the tour. At some point, I have to give you the tour of the studio, right? Our broom closet here. We get picked on sometimes for having a studio, but we have I'll show you our broom closet one day. Me, all of us. I don't know. We're just good at making it look cool. I think people struggle with our. With that we like making stuff cool. It's kind of back to making things not suck, right? What's so wrong with making things not suck? But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for continuing to follow along. Holy cow at some of the podcast stuff right now. I keep forgetting that I'm a podcast host. Go over and check out the podcast. We've had some amazing folks on. We've got amazing stuff coming. I told you we got Mark Alston coming up tomorrow. We got Jason Lucas coming up for our next two main episodes. The main episode after the two-parter with Jason Lucas, we're going to air the Safety Differently Power Hour that we did with their friends from Brisbane. So we're gonna air that coming up pretty soon. Then I got some stuff coming up. I recorded just the other night with Dr. Jay Allen, and that's always a blast. That's a pretty good episode. We went for like forever. I'm going to have to really record like a PSA trigger warning beforehand though, because I don't know. You get two podcasters together, and you get two podcasters that don't care to, I guess, be not PC. And guess what? We were not PC, so we'll see. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to probably have to trim it down for size because, like I said, it's like 3.5 hours. We'll have to trim it down to what makes sense. And then throw it out there with a very strong, if you are offended, if you are a safety if you are a traditional safety person, if you are a how should we put it, if you are in the great knower shaman safety elitist group, you might not enjoy this because we do challenge some of the great knowers, or that kind of concept, that archetype of kind of the safety guru, safety great knowers, as we continue to, right? As this kind of a lot of the folks that I tend to conversate with tend to challenge. So, but you'll see that one coming out should be after that. I've got some amazing interviews coming up this week for my podcast, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait. I don't want to release them yet. I never jinx them. Look, it's just one of those things where I don't like to say who it is until the episode's in the books, right? So I can be like, okay, I've got it recorded, because I'm going to tell you that it's so and so, this marvelous person, and then I'm going to go to do a Zoom call or something and forget to record it, which would be not so fun. And then I'll have to kind of go back on it and be like, look, I'm sorry, we did it, but we didn't record it, or something happened and my computer's caught on fire, and terrible things happen. So once it's uploaded, once it's ready to go, I'll fill you in. I'll send you some info. You guys follow me. You see where it all goes. You'll see what's coming up, which will be super good. So we've got that coming up. I recorded for a couple of podcasts. I don't know. I know that I can tell you that I was on Rebranding Safety. I don't know when that comes out, but I recorded for that not too long ago. So that's something that's going to happen. There's another one that I won't reveal yet, just because I don't know. I don't know when all that's scheduled. I don't like to show too much there, because some of those folks, kind of like me, me especially early on, I scheduled stuff out way long, so I don't like to kind of show when things were recorded for those folks, just in case they like to have a long schedule, right? It makes it not so good, or scare them, or make them feel pressure to put it out earlier. I don't want to put anybody in that position. So I don't, but yeah, there's a couple that I recorded for so just things to look out for. Yeah, a lot happening there. I mean, just amazing. Like here, you ready? You ready for this? Here's number two. Here's number two of the show. This one's been going since this morning, so I really can't say too much. And for those that on the pod that don't know what I'm talking about, we're cracking open another cold brew nitro from Caveman Coffee. These things are just absolutely addictive. Holy crap. I'm a coffee nerd. I just love coffee. So good coffee. And I didn't quite believe it that these would be that great coming out of a can, right? Until I got my hands on them. And they're good. Holy crap. This one's been sitting here for a little while, and it's actually kind of warmed up a little bit, and it's still good. That's how you know that the cold brew coffee you're drinking doesn't suck, or at least sucks a whole lot less. Is that it's good when it's not even freezing cold, right? So I challenge you to that for cold brew coffee or beer. If it's still halfway decent when it's starting to get to room temperature, you know you're onto something. But yeah, that's everything that we've been going on. So let me do a quick recap because again, I've not done this in a minute. I'm really rusty at it. We're coming back, right? We're coming back. We're not going anywhere, and we're gonna start doing the live streams more. At least back to schedule, not more. Let me say back to schedule. We kind of went through this really big spurt of doing them every day because I was like, oh my god, live stream's awesome, and it is. I love it. I like it. And then my schedule got more hectic with everything that we're going to recap on, and then it kind of tanked, and now we're kind of coming back to normal. I just like these. I like these. I do these for me. These are the ones I do for me because I like to get up here and rant and ramble. So again, the book. I wrote a book. That's the one thing that I got to keep recapping. It's a shameless plug. I'm going to tell you, I wrote a book. I want you to read it, right? So you can go check it out. It's at safetysucks.net. You can find it on all of our other platforms too. You can find it at my pen gets slung out of it. You can find it at hopuniversity.org. You can find it at thehopnerd.com. You can go to safetysucks.net. All those different things. All those different places. You can find us. You can find us there. There's about 100 different domains that redirect to our sites, just in case you're wondering. On some of the recording for a podcast that we just did, you can listen to the podcast. You'll find out who to blame for my shopping sprees that I go on of domain name buying. Now I really like it. I love it. But there you go. So we've got that going on. The book, go check that out. We launched the stores, so those are there. Trying to offer you some really cool merchandise. I'm giving away a bunch of these, so if you see this and it might be something that you like, I might just send you one. You can always reach out to us. We hit over 50 episodes on the podcast, and that's where I was going to circle back to. So technically, if I go and actually count them up, we're in like the 70s on the podcast. What? That's ridiculous, right? I have 50 numbered episodes, I guess is the way to do it. When I first started, I got a little wacky with how I numbered things, and I didn't number things for a while, and then I started numbering things, and then I just kind of got all. I'm going with the number that's listed as the episode number. How about that? 50 official episodes, over 50 official episodes now. Altogether, unofficial episodes are at like 70. How cool is that? So we're doing some giveaway stuff there. If you can follow along with me on LinkedIn, you can find out. Just look Samuel Goodman. It's easy to find. I'll share it across to all my other platforms. If you just follow us anywhere that you find the Hop Nerd stuff, anywhere where you find the Hop University stuff, you can see how to register to end up with a maybe kind of like a blind bag giveaway thing. Just a surprise for you. So you can go register and do that if you want to. But again, the book, we're building out the websites. I'm spending a lot of time focused on coaching other safety professionals. So if that's something that interests you, if you would like coaching as a safety professional, you can check that out over at hopuniversity.org. That's a pretty cool resource. Thank you to all my hashtag safety fam that's already over there and doing everything on Hop University. It's a blast. Again, just trying to bring you value. So that's everything that's been going on in my life. Book, websites, podcasting, a little back to live streaming, normal life, trying to get in a couple hours of sleep, drinking lots of Caveman Nitro Cold Brew, drinking lots of pots of coffee too, right? That's everything that has been going on in my life, in our life, in the world of the Hop Nerd, of Sam Goodman, of hopuniversity.org, of all these things. We're living here. I'm practically living here. The couch is full of your orders, so I'm sleeping on the floor. Not quite. I still go home. I go home for a couple hours and then right back. So that's I think that's going to be my wrap-up message for today. I'll share with you a quick little thing that was shared with me, and I share some of this story in the book. If you want to know where it comes from, it's in the book. But I had a really interesting person tell me one time when I was asking for advice on how to grow in this profession. Well, what should I do? Should I take this? Should I do this? Should I continue to pursue this or that? Or what piece of paper do I need to hang on my wall? Or what do I need to, and the person just looked at me and said, listen, you can either do this job or you can't. It's that simple. It's that simple. There's a few things is that if you, if you're honest and you're nice, you treat people like people, you'll go pretty far. That's it. Work hard. Be nice to people. Treat people like you would want to be treated. And you'll go pretty far. You couple that with a little bit of an ability to do some things, you'll go pretty far. I always love that message. I've continued to live my life by some of that message. I break down some of that message actually right here in one of the chapters in the book. I dive into a little bit about where that thought come from. But that's kind of back to talking about doing better as safety professionals, doing better within our profession in general. So pretty cool stuff. That's all I've got. I wanted to leave you with that note, and I think that applies across the board to just about everybody, is if you work hard, you treat people how you want to be treated, you're just a genuine human being, you work hard and you're a genuinely nice person, you'll go pretty far no matter what you put your mind to and no matter what you find yourself up against. That's all I've got. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for continuing to be the most amazing part of this and making this thing possible, making it possible for me to get on here and rant to you on a live stream and then rant to you into your ear holes in the podcast. That's one thing that's going to be really cool that I have a feeling is going to come up very soon. We just said very soon. We're making some, here, let me get all corporate. We're making some strategic plans to have folks come into the studio in a very safe and controlled manner to prevent the spread of COVID-19. There we go. That's legalese enough for everybody. We're going to have some guests soon. I'm working on it. We're talking to some folks. There's going to be some folks coming in, hanging out right there. And hopefully, if everything works out, we might have one there and one there. We might even have some over here on the couch at some point, all at the same time. Could you imagine? In this broom closet? That many people in one place? Oh, the governor's going to post a notice on our door. We're going to have a line of angry safety professionals in the comments. How dare you be within 6 foot of one another and not wear masks? It'll be interesting. Let's just say that. But we're looking at it. We're looking at how that plays out. But we've got some plans. It's going to happen soon. I've got a feeling it's going to happen soon. No promises. I tell you that all the time. I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I've got planned, but I'm not going to promise you much. Right? I'll tell you what I got on my mind. I'll tell you what we're trying to do, and then we'll try our best to make it happen. Back to our final message, though. Be nice to people. Do that, right? It's still a time for helping, not hiding. That's a big thing. Help people, don't hide. Don't be an asshole. That's another good piece of advice. Look out for each other. Call people. Check on them. See how they're doing. I've talked to so many people lately that are suffering from just being alone. They're just lonely, right? They just feel lonely. You don't realize how nice it is even just to go out and walk around a crowd of folks, even if you just don't talk to anybody, just to be around your fellow human is nice, and a lot of us just haven't had that opportunity. So reach out, talk to people, be nice, and again, kind of coming back to that main message. Don't be a dick. There you go. Don't be an asshole. Work hard. Keep your word. And you'll go pretty far at no matter what you find yourself doing. That's all I've got. I'm out of here. I'm getting out of here. I'll post this thing to the podcast. So all my podcast peeps, if you're tuning in, thank you for listening on the podcast. I'll talk to you later. It's Sam Goodman, the Hop Nerd. Bye, everybody. Bye.